This is a first generation 1967 Firebird hardtop. And I'm going to take it for a quick drive. Show you around the car down at the cul-de-sac. She fires up good. Good, fuel gauge works, oil PSI, voltmeter. I believe that the temp gauge works too, but just fired her up, so she's still running a little cold. Lights work, signals work, wipers work. Wipers probably need to be adjusted just a hair because it looks like they're stopping a little high. Brakes work really well. It's got a nice sounding exhaust. No smoking, engine runs great. And actually, the guy that we got this car from, he had to sell it kind of quick because he was moving. And when he realized that the engine wasn't running right, he took it to the shop and they just put brand new heads on it. Let me pop the trunk, or pop the hood. The engine runs great. Like I said, they just put brand new heads on it. Edelbrock intake. Edelbrock carburetor. Really, really clean under the hood. Power steering works great. No exhaust leaks. Shut it off here. Oh, well, I still got it on. I'll show you the stereo works good. It's got 6x9s in the back. Y'all ready for this? It actually cranks, the stereo system cranks in this thing. It sounds awesome. All right, so yeah, I love to do a video inspection on every vehicle that we put up for sale. This car, you know what's interesting about the about first generation Firebirds and Camaros is you see these cars in pieces. You know, on Craigslist and stuff, you see guys, they've got pictures of a car like this in pieces all over their garage, and they want 10 grand or best offer, you know. And it's like, I've got this up for $12,900. And it's in daily driver condition. No rust. Take a look at the still pictures that we got underneath the car. Zero rust, save one small spot, probably about the size of your hand, with a couple of little Swiss cheese holes in the rear floor pan, which is not unusual. And like I showed you earlier, the wipers do work. They seem to be stopping in a high position, so I think that they just need to be popped off and put down. So let me take a walk around the car. So right now it's like they call it, you know, the guys in the classic cars call these 20/20 cars. 20 miles an hour from 20 feet away, the car looks awesome. You get up on the car 5 feet away, you're gonna see the imperfections in it. I wanna walk around and show you. It's got just a touch of a little dent right there on the trim piece. Nice straight body overall. Not seeing any rust on this side. A couple spots where the paint's been touched up here. There's spots where the paint's been touched up all over. And what this car really needs is a couple of spots of body work. We're going to keep going around the car. I'm going to do an inspection for you. A couple of little spots here where there's been some touch up. and just tiny pea size probably rust underneath. And I can pop the trunk here in just a second and show you. The inside the trunk is super clean. The body's got just a couple of typical rust spots on it. Now on the I'll show you on the driver's side. Passenger side looked really good. Just a little couple spots of rust here in the lower quarter, and then as we go around, one little rust spot there. I'll show you real close. There's my finger next to it. You can see it's smaller than my finger. So just a little spot there. And then there was one more spot. Oh yeah, right here is kind of the worst of it, if you want to call that. But still small enough that it could be patched, cut and patched. And there's a rust, that's the worst rust on the entire car. And you can see it next to my finger. So it's about a little bit bigger than the size of like the first part of my finger. So other than that, let's double check everything else. The metal in the car is good. On the body is good. It's straight. A good welder cut those patches out, those little pieces out there, sand them down, weld new pieces in, and then the car will be ready for paint. Repainted in its original red color, which is what the body tag is showing, that it's red, and this car will be totally ready to go. Mechanically, it's in great shape. It sounds like, and if you notice right when I first cranked up the car, the starter may be dragging just a hair, and sometimes it's just because the starter needs a shim. These old GM cars, they do that sometimes, that they need to be shimmed a little bit in or a little bit out. So it's got a brand new vinyl top. I don't see any indications of rust being underneath it, and it is new, very new, very clean. Rear tray looks really good. I can show you that through the back window. The interior is very presentable. Door panels look very good. I'm not going to say they look brand new, but they look very clean. Seats look new. Front and back seats look new. Carpet looks new. Rocker covers, the Body by Fisher rocker covers look like they could be polished. They would look new. Dashboard looks new. And on the top, the cap, it's soft. It's not the hard plastic cheapy cap. This is the nice, expensive, original style cap. Very clean. Now you see some scratches and things like that on the dashboard, on the painted part, and you can see that the bezel doesn't want to fit on there quite exactly like it's supposed to, probably because of the CD player and all that. Carpet, like I said, excellent condition. Center, bucket seats look good. The seats look like new. Headliner is in excellent shape. Light turns on when you open the door. So the interior on this car, I mean, I'd give it like a 7.5. I mean, I'm not comparing it to necessarily a 10 being a show car, but for it to be being a nice looking driver, windows roll up and down good, no cracks, no scratches. It's got a nice set of American Racing Torque Thrust 2 wheels on it with new tires. So that's all ready to go. Let's take a look underneath the car. Very clean, no undercoating or anything. New front end, you can see the bushings have been replaced. New front end bushings is what I was trying to say. Very clean. We've had the car parked in the same place. I haven't noticed any oil leaks. Transmission shifts perfectly when it drives. Floor pan on this side looks really good. Subframe, or if you want to call it frame rails, look really good. Oh yeah, I did say I would show you in the trunk, so let's make sure we don't forget that. Trunk pops right like it's supposed to. There we go. Holds itself up. It's got the spare tire with original jack. Trunk in excellent shape. Very clean, no signs of rust at all. No signs of rust at all. And then two, just want to show that the deck lid is not rusted out. Sometimes they rust out on that lip. So the rust is not all the way through. Remember I showed you a second ago that there was a couple of tiny pea-sized bubbles up here. One here and one here. But the deck lid is in great shape. Don't see any evidence of rust on the deck lid. It looks really good. The actual weather stripping on here looks to be possibly original. Okay, so just wanted to show you that. Looks like they somebody at some point put a newer tank in. Either that or pulled this tank, cleaned it. Very clean. Let me just double check by sticking my head up in there. I was looking through the camera screen. Okay, no rust underneath there. I just wanted to double check. You see some cracking there? That's just the original undercoating peeling off like that. That is not rust. Oh, I'm glad it's fall. Doing these video inspections in the hot summer sun was killing me. Inner fender wells look really good. Here's the one spot I was telling you about earlier. You can see the pictures in the still. You've got a little bit of rust right here, but it's still fairly solid. Just some small little Swiss cheese holes on the one side. Other than that, the rest of the floor pans look good. Rockers look good. I'll show you that in just a second. Rockers look really good on this side too, and on the other side. So there you have it. To me, this is you could drive this car just like it is and not do anything to it. But if it was me, I'd probably do a little body work to it, put a nice looking kind of driver paint job on it. Most good paint companies will do a decent to good driver paint job starting in the $1,500 to $2,000 range. Especially with a paint match, especially with a color match. And boy, if you put a paint job on this car for right now, I'd say you put a paint job on this thing, do a couple little odds and ends, you'd have a really nice looking driver. And if this had a new paint job on it, I mean, it'd be everything else being what it is, new top, interior looking like new, engine running great, transmission, everything like it is right now. With a new paint job on this, this would be a high teens resale car. You know, it'd be a $18,000, $19,000, $20,000 car. So I think that this is an opportunity. We wanted to offer this car up without doing any additional restoring to it, for somebody to get into it for just a little bit more money than that car I mentioned earlier that's in pieces in the garage for 10 grand. You spend a little bit more money on a car like this, you can drive it and enjoy it while you project on it, and make a great winter project car. Like I said, body super straight and overall in really, really great shape. This is a great daily driver as is, or you might call it a driving project to take it up to the next level.